Yeah.
What meal do you guys make too much of that you're more than likely going to have leftovers? Like, what is the meal that you cook at your house? Mine seemingly is it's an Italian dish. It's a spaghetti or a lasagna. It's something like that. Yeah.
Probably pasta for me.
Yeah.
A lot of leftovers are pasta.
Mexican food, I like to think I make enough for leftovers, and then I've had 9 tacos.
Doesn't
and I'm
usually end up that way. I know. Sometimes, and some leftovers aren't the same as others. I'm okay with a pasta leftover. It's not the same. It's not the best leftover, but it's passable.
Starting to like cold lasagna.
Ooh, are you really? That's weird.
Kind of weird,
That's
gross, but like
that's pretty gross.
kind of is delightful.
Is it? To each their own. Your team fired their head coach yesterday.
Yeah, there's a correction on the record.
Oh,
I just got from our good buddy.
okay.
It's not quite double or triple the AD buyout.
Okay, Barnes' buyout isn't doubled. So Bray's buyout was just around $5 million. It's like $4.9 million, I think is what I read.
He thinks the buyout would be very similar for the AD.
Okay.
Not double or triple. So he just misspoke on that.
I mean, my thought was when Barnes came out and said we have boosters step up and put this buyout together, I thought, why didn't they put the buyout for the athletic director? That was literally my first thought.
Well, who are the boosters now that are still supporting
Like,
this?
why are we donating money to a athletic department that you have no faith in? Why would you have any faith in anybody making the right hire here? That's the existential crisis that they're facing.
Every interview is damage control. Hey,
Yes.
here's the associate AD to tell you why that deal blueprint's not that bad.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the AD with the same person doing the same interview 3 weeks later. It's like it's just the same stuff. It's damage control 24/7. It's a joke.
And it's always reactionary. It's not out in front. It's reactionary. When you released a statement 2 weeks ago and saying our journey to back to winning begins in earnest now, we have utmost faith in Trent Bray. I said at the time, like, what else are you going to say? You could just not release a statement because then if you end up firing him, you look like an idiot, and that's exactly what ended up happening. We don't even need to talk about what happened on the field Saturday because it's not worth it.
They quit.
It was 25 or whatever it was, nothing at the half.
25-0, yeah.
25-0. The game was never competitive. They put a couple of touchdowns on the board in the fourth quarter. They benched Malik Murphy, who has been a disaster.
Well,
Everything about the team's everything about the team's been a disaster. I know we've called for it, and it's never a fun thing to do because I think we genuinely believe that Trent Bray's a good dude, and he had a chance to go be the defense coordinator at Michigan State with Jonathan Smith, and he turned it down and said, no, I want to stick around at my alma mater. So in a time when a lot of people scurried off the boat, he was one of the guys that stayed and tried to keep this thing afloat. It's also, you have to acknowledge that I don't really know if he knows what he's doing, and he's in over his head, and this probably wasn't the right fit. What was your surprise level when you saw the news yesterday?
You're going to think I'm a sicko here. I watched the whole game, even when it was
stuck around
in doubt
the entire time.
I mean,
you were texting about things in the fourth quarter of that game, and when I got home and was reading through it, I was seeing Swag's responses of like, I'm not even watching anymore.
I had the Oregon game on the big screen, but like I wanted to watch because I kind of had a feeling going into this, and we did this with the big pack picks. I gotta say it slowly.
Yeah, big mistake there to take Oregon State to get off the mat game.
That's fine. The line looked funky, and then there's backup quarterback starting, and you're like, okay, well, I didn't see that coming. Like,
Robbie Ashford didn't play.
I just felt like this team was pretty close to caving in, and I thought Wake Forest was more talented, and so that outcome didn't shock me, nor did the announcement. I was more like being told by multiple people last week, there's a chance they don't fire him this year. There's a chance he comes back. And I'm like, there's not a chance he's coming back. You cannot sell that in any way. That's maybe a 2-win team if they're lucky, and we'll see. Maybe Lafayette, I think, has a over 500 record, and this, the portal's open now for all these kids.
How much of the move too had to do with how bad that was? One of the worst.
It's one of the worst.
Games. It looked like a COVID game. It was that bad.
It looked like there was 4,000 people in the stands after halftime, and I'm being generous with that number. So I don't blame anybody for going and being supportive and then saying, no, I'm out. They had to make it. I think the problem is like the fans don't want just that move. That didn't satisfy the appetite here. And I'm legitimately curious. The president, as Orem just says, seems to be in lockstep and no. And I know when she took over, she gave him this extension. I think it goes to 2030. Like, I think of all the concerning stuff from Orem there. It's not that they fired the coach. Everybody wanted that. And I hate to be the lone duck in these waters. I agree with you. Bray seems like a good dude. I think he genuinely loves Oregon State to his core. I thank him for trying. That hire was not literally nobody would have not taken that job. I think we're memory holding that moment. Jonathan left. It was awful. He kind of left you, right? Like the lawyer in Jurassic Park. The DC wanted the head coaching gig. You know why? Because it's a head coaching job.
Yeah.
To act like he did that job for free out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, you're not making $2 million as a D coordinator
It's ridiculous.
at Michigan State.
Like he wouldn't have made that at Michigan State, and it's a head coaching gig. We didn't really interview anybody. It was ridiculous. So I thank him, but also I'm not going to act like that position wouldn't have been taken by anybody else in the country. Now, that being said, I don't know why this guy deserves to make the hire. Tell me, what's the benefit? And if you're hiring a firm and a committee, please separate that one out for me.
How much money is that going to cost?
$1 million. Like
to,
it's
at least,
$200K
right?
for you, maybe $500,000. Like, what are you doing? Who's making the hire then? Is it you or is it 9 different people on 2 different things? You cannot brag about getting a war chest in a lawsuit and then be scared to spend $3 million. If that's the case, then you don't have a war chest.
No.
You're a cheap-ass organization institution. So I'm sitting where some people are and other people's aren't. Clearly the big donors aren't, because if they were, he wouldn't be the AD anymore. I'm out, and maybe he'll make the right hire. I love that anybody acts like they know who the right hire is for this moment. I'm not even going to give you names. I'm not going to do that in this cycle. Acting like it's Montana State's guy or North Texas's guy or UC Davis's guy. You don't know, and I don't know, but I don't feel very confident that the guy in charge of the actual hire does know. And so I feel for Bray, but it wasn't going the right direction, needed to be changed. I just don't know why this guy's the guy making the change.
Yeah, where you at, Beaver fans? Do you agree? Like, is there zero hope with the fact that the current administration is still in place making the next hire, needing a committee and a search firm to try and figure out who the next coach would be? 503-864-6326. That is the fan text line. That's how you can reach out to us. Read some of your thoughts and then talk about the math that is tough for Oregon State, because they want to cry, woe is me, and I totally get it. They've been dealt a really bad hand, but one other school has not had a problem with this. What is the difference there?
That was impressive what they did.
Dude, they almost pulled off an upset over a top 5 team in the country. And I know I said it I thought that was a look ahead spot for Ole Miss. They're playing Georgia this weekend, but that's one thing to look ahead. And then they almost won the damn game against a top 5 team on the road in the SEC.